I black? Okay, yeah. What a question to start things off with. Well, I mean, judging based on your username alone, School Shooter, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that you're actually white. Oh man, that is gonna definitely piss a couple of people off. So for this week, in terms of restorations, I'm doing a reglue on a pair of 2000 Air Jordan 11 Space Jams. Now, I've already done a video on a pair of 2000 Air Jordan 11 Space Jams, so what we're going to do instead this week is a Q&A. This is going to be my third one, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And if I did not get to your question, I may have already answered it in a previous question and answers video, but if you've checked those videos and I did not answer your questions there either, leave your question down below, and eventually I will get to it as long as it's not completely absurd. Is soul sauce worth it or not? To be 100% honest with you, I don't think that soul sauce is worth it. Now, I do understand that some of these companies do add a couple of extra ingredients into their soul sauce, but for me personally, I use a 40 volume cream hair developer, or whatever the hell this stuff's called. I get it at Priceline in Australia. You can get it at Sally's in America, but you know, it doesn't have that extra ingredient that a lot of these companies put in. You will be working with it for a little bit longer, but it is going to get the job done, so no, I do not think that soul sauce is worth it. Did you ever mess up a shoe during a customer restoration? Yes, I have absolutely messed up a pair of shoes in the past, but they were my own personal pair when I was first starting out. I made sure that my skills were up to scrap before I offered to do anyone's shoes who were not my own, and I highly recommend that you do the same. And for anyone wondering what pair that I messed up, it was a pair of Black Cement 3s. You can still see the video. It's the very first video on my channel of me restoring them. That video took me a very long time to film because I messed them up the first time around and had to start completely over. What is your favorite custom that you've done? Ooh, that is a tough one in all honesty. It would be a toss-up between the DMP Low custom or the Shanghai 5s that I made out of a pair of Oreo 5s. What is the hardest part about customizing shoes? Yo, straight up, it is the prep work for any type of restoration or custom work. You want to make sure that you are working with a clean, smooth surface. You want to make sure that there is no debris on there whatsoever. And I'm going to tell you guys something that might seem a little bit crazy, but when it comes to buying cotton balls or cotton rounds, you want to spend the extra money, because I've made the mistake before of buying the 99-cent bag of 200 cotton balls, and the only difference between that and the $1.50 of 100 cotton balls is that the 99-cent bag leaves a lot of residue and the cotton comes off and it just gets stuck to the shoe, and it creates a massive headache and a massive problem for you to deal with later. So yeah, like I said, to answer your question, it's the prep work. What is the hardest pair of shoes that you've ever had to restore? It's actually funny that you asked that question, because the hardest restoration that I've done to date has actually been my most recent Air Max 90 restoration. It was the Air Max 90 King of the Mountains, and the reason why it was so hard is because there was a lot of unanticipated things that had to actually go into that shoe. And what I mean by that is I had a lot of color matches on there that I just was not anticipating. There were 3 color matches that I had to do. One of them was the cement gray, the pink, and one of the speckling colors. I thought that it was just gonna be a normal white. It ended up being an off-white, and it was so hard to match it, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I try to be, especially when it comes to my restoration work, and there was really no way for me to tell whether or not the actual off-white color was a perfect match. So in the end, it was a massive headache to restore those shoes, but I have to be completely honest, it was so rewarding when I peeled that paint back and saw the final product. What do you think about Shane and Enzo's kick game? Now, for anyone who does not know, it is Shane McMahon and Enzo Amore from the WWE, and I'm gonna put it very simple. Enzo is pure hype, Shane is pure heat. What does your camera setup look like? Alright, so you guys want to know what my camera setup looks like. It looks like this. I am rocking a Canon Rebel T5i over here in the Australia region. It is called the 700D. I'm literally recording this right now. You can see in the viewfinder here. I don't know where the lens is on this camera. Excuse the poor quality, but just to answer your question, this was the easiest way for me to do it. Do you plan to come to the US for like a vacation or something? Straight up, if I could afford it, I would fly to the States tomorrow and hang out with everyone that I could, but my wife and I do have plans to go to Hawaii for a week. We're just gonna try and get away from the hustle and bustle of the city and just relax for a bit, but as of right now, there are no concrete plans. We have not booked anything, so to answer your question, right now, no, I have no plans to come to the US. Do you prefer Jordans over Air Max, and what is your favorite Jordan model and colorway? Love your videos, keep up with the dope content, much love from Serbia. Yo, Serbia? My videos reach someone in Serbia? That is so sick, man. Props to you. Thank you so much for asking this question. And to answer your question, I prefer Air Max over Jordans. I know I have a lot more Jordans than Air Max. In the beginning, I preferred Jordans over Air Max. Obviously, I had a very wide foot, but since losing weight, runners fit me a lot more comfortably, and Jordans are becoming a little bit more uncomfortable for my feet lately, I found. As far as my favorite Jordan model and colorway go, I've said it 1,000 times, all of the OG people that rock with me will know it is the Air Jordan 3 True Blue. I got married in them. They hold a lot of close sentimental value to my heart. And even though you did not ask what my favorite Air Max model and colorway is, I'm gonna answer it for you anyway. Simply on the fact that you are from Serbia and you watch my videos, that is so sick. Air Max 90 Infrared, greatest shoe of all time. What's the best way to paint mesh or fabric and still keep it soft? I tried GAC 900, but can't seem to keep it as soft. Ooh, bro, that is a tough one then. If that is what you are using, that is exactly what you are supposed to be using. Make sure that you're using a 50-to-50 ratio. That is the best way to do it. Don't add any water or anything like that. GAC 900 is specifically formulated for you to paint fabric much easier, so I guess the best advice to give you, considering you are using the one thing that I was going to suggest, is to use much thinner layers, because if you are caking paint on there, it does not matter what you use. It is not going to dry correctly. How long have you been restoring kicks? That's actually a pretty good question. I would have to say it was about 4 years now, but 6 months out of those 4 years I was only restoring shoes for myself, just to make sure that I was okay at it before I put my neck out there for anyone else. So yeah, 4 years, and 3.5 of those years I've been restoring shoes professionally, and then 6 months of it was strictly for myself. It may be a silly one, but do you ever receive stinky shoes to restore? If so, how do you get rid of the smell / do you even bother? Yo, I cannot even tell you. I made an announcement about this on my Facebook page for my restorations. Yes, I have received stinky shoes, but it was not the stink that you would get from a foot. Someone sent me a shoe that had dog shit all over the bottom of the shoe, and I know that I'm telling people, send me your shoes and I'm gonna clean them up for you, but like a courtesy clean would be all right. Like if it smells like feet, the best way to get rid of it, it's going to sound crazy, I know, but bear with me, put your shoes in the freezer. What that does is freezes any bacteria that causes that smell. It will come back eventually, but it kills it for the time being. And just a word of advice, wash your damn feet if your feet smell. What do you do in your free time besides shoe restoration? It's funny that you asked that question, because your question is actually the answer to your question. Pretty much in all my free time, I'm working on shoes, making YouTube videos, but when I have that rare spare moment where I don't have to worry about shoes or don't have to worry about making YouTube videos, I am spending my time watching wrestling with my wife, or just spending as much time with my wife as I possibly can. How many pairs do you own? Oh man, so it goes 9, right? So 9, 18, 27, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40 actually, my Air Max 90s that I used to wear to work, so about 40 pairs. How do you decrease Durabuck, and what color Angelus paint or dye would you use on a Wolf Grey 14? Alright, I am very happy that someone asked a question along these lines, because I'm going to let you guys know right now, if you hit me up asking for a paint mix and it's something that I have not mixed before, I'm not going to go out and mix it for you. The reason for that is because I need a pair of shoes in my hand in order to get a perfect or close to perfect color match. So I'm sorry, I don't know what dye or colors you should use for your Wolf Grey 14s. Number one, I've never had the shoe in my hand, and number two, I just don't know what paints you're going to need. And in order to decrease Durabuck, I actually have a video on how to decrease Nubuck, and Durabuck and Nubuck are kind of the same. I'm assuming that it would be the exact same process. I'm going to leave the video right here for you guys to check out if it's something that you're interested in watching. I show how to do it in that video, and the first thing that you're going to need is patience, because when you are decreasing Nubuck or Durabuck, it is going to take a long time. A lot longer than leather, so make sure that you have the patience and click on the video if you want to learn how to decrease Nubuck. Do you ever plan on doing any collab videos with other sneaker YouTubers such as Caius or Sneaker Life? Straight up, if they hit me up, I would absolutely do it, but I know that if I hit them up, it would probably be a waste of their time, considering how small my channel is in comparison to how big their channels are. But like I said, I am up to do collabs with people. It just has to be something that is going to be worth both of our times. What's the best way to paint teeth on Air Jordan 5s? Tape those teeth off. Get an X-Acto knife so you can be very precise with how close to the teeth that you are getting. I actually have a video on my Instagram. It is like buried so far back and you'll probably never be able to find it. If I can find it, it will be on the screen right now, but chances are it is not going to be because I posted it about a year and a half ago. But you want to tape off the shoe. Like I said, get an X-Acto knife, be precise, thin layers, remove the tape slowly, and you have yourself some perfect Air Jordan 5 shark teeth. Do you bring the Mosh? And are you into any heavier hardcore? Yeah, when I was younger, I used to bring the Mosh. It sounds so stupid to say now, but it was a way of releasing anger and frustration when I was just a young wee one. And yeah, I'm definitely into heavier music. One of my favorite bands is Until the End, and it is completely different to what I listen to now because I'm more of a locking out kind of guy, like Rival Mob, Mental, and all those bands like that. But as far as heavier music goes, absolutely. I love The Hope Conspiracy, I love Until the End, like I said. I love Hoods, Shattered Realm, and Madonna. If you could be sponsored by any sneaker brand, which would it be? I would go with Nike. I would not go with Air Jordan or Adidas or New Balance or any, ooh, maybe New Balance. Nah, I think I'm gonna stick with Nike, and I would ask them if I could have a signature Air Max 90. Probably would never happen. Do different paintbrushes and tape affect the end result of a midsole repaint, for example, on Jordan 4s? Listen, I'm going to be totally honest right now. It does not really depend on the paintbrush that you get. You just want to get a soft bristle acrylic paintbrush. It is all about how you paint the shoe. You want to do very thin, very light layers until that paint is nice and vibrant. And as far as the tape goes, you want to use a non-residue masking tape. I personally have been using this Bear Painter's tape. If you are from Australia, like I say, you can get it at Bunnings. If you are in America, check out Reshoevn8or's YouTube channel every single Monday for Restorations with Vic, because in every single one of those videos, he tells you where you can get the equivalent to this painter's tape right here. You get it at Staples. I'm gonna tell you that much. He'll tell you more over on the Reshoevn8or YouTube channel. Okay, so that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this Q&A session. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it is an off week for restorations. I'm doing a restoration on a pair of shoes that I've done a million times before, and you guys do not need to see it for the millionth time. So if you enjoy these types of videos and I did not get to your question, or you had a question that you want me to answer in a future Q&A video, leave them in the comment section down below. And if you can help it, just try to make your questions as original as possible. I have no problem answering personal questions. I don't like to get too crazy personal here on YouTube, but you guys can see I like to answer questions about life, music preference. Obviously I answer questions about shoes and restorations and stuff like that, but I really do enjoy questions that go outside of the realm of sneakers. So with that being said, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and as always, have yourself a good day. I'll see you guys next week with an all new video. Thank you guys so much once again for tuning into my channel. Peace.